Hello there, out there in YouTube land, YWC, whatever you want to call yourselves. This is me, I'm back with a video here, and this video will be my TNA Destination X review. I just finished watching it a few minutes ago. And let me give my quick thoughts before I start my review. Man, was it boring. I was so boring. I don't know if anybody else think, but I was so fucking boring. I feel like I went to sleep a few times there. Excuse me. That was real too. That wasn't a fake yawn. That was real. I didn't mean to do that. Well, I mean, let's get this boring. Let's review this boring ass show real quick, and then I'll just give my final thoughts on it. The first match on the card was Samoa Joe versus Kazarian. It's an okay match. You know, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great neither. See, the crowd seemed to be pretty hot for Samoa Joe. You know, they were behind him most certainly for sure. And it was an okay match. You know, nothing really happened. So, Kazarian defeated Joe by pinfall. So, whatever. Let's move on. Next, we have a backstage segment with Eric Young. Really boring, really cheesy. It was like, reminded me of Santino Marella a little bit. That was cheesy. Let's move on. The next match, oops, sorry, my notes are a little bit fucked here. So, next match was Doug Williams versus a mystery opponent, which turned out to be Mark Hastings, whatever. Never heard of him before. He's from England too. This Mark Hastings character looks like John Morrison. I mean, it's a total John Morrison ripoff. I'm like, wait, is that John Morrison? I thought Morrison showed up in TNA for a second. I'm like, oh, no, okay, some other dude. Never mind. Anyway, this match was okay. You know, actually, no, that's not true. Let me start off. I mean, Doug Williams cut a pretty boring promo before the match started about how he's better than Mark Hastings and stuff. Like, whatever, who cares? We'll move on. The match was okay. Some botches by Hastings, in fact, a lot of botches by Hastings. He might have been nervous, I don't know what the hell he was doing. And the finish was Williams won by another roll-up. Looks like they're going roll-ups tonight, I don't know. So, whatever. Next match was a surprise tag match between Eric Young and Shark Boy, versus the return of Shark Boy, I might add, versus Generation Me. This was the opener was the opening segment. The opening minutes were dumb. All it was what's the name? Eric Young and Shark Boy just entering and leaving, entering, leaving the ring. I was like, what is this? What is this? Some kind of retarded game or something they're playing? I was confused. It was horrible. All right, then there were some botches there by Shark Boy botched a few times. Eric Young wins. Eric Young and Shark Boy won by I don't know how it was. It was boring. And the whole point is they won the match. They celebrated a little bit. Blah blah blah. Boring. Move on. Fifth match, we had RVD versus Jerry Lynn. People were marking out for this match. Like, oh yes, RVD versus Lynn. I can't wait for this fucking match. And it's so epic. It's going to be so epic. Yes! This match is going to be awesome. Well, this match was pretty boring for the most part. There were some good spots in there, but it's mostly boring. All it was RVD botching and Lynn not really. I'm not saying Lynn can still go. I mean, it's just that RVD looked kind of lazy during the match. I don't know. Because Lynn looked like he busting his ass, and RVD looked like he wasn't doing shit. So that made the match bad. On top of that, we had a pretty good spot towards the end of the match when Jerry Lynn powerbombed RVD like to a chair that was halfway across the ring. So that was a pretty good spot. RVD wins by a 5-star frog splash. So it's an okay match. You know, I thought it'd be way better, but people were marking out for this match. But here's the thing, real quick, before I move on. 10 years. This has been 10 years since this feud in ECW. Almost 10 to 15 years. So, I don't know why people were marking out for this match like it's going to be epic like it was 10 years ago. I don't know. I mean, I thought it was an okay match, but let's move on. Let's move on now. In the, wait, did I miss something? I feel like I missed something. Hold on. This is horrible. Contract match. I feel like I missed something, didn't I? Why did I feel like I missed something? Yeah, Shark Boy, Eric Young. Apologize for this technical difficulties here. I feel like I missed something. Guess not, because I don't. I mean, this interview was so bad. I don't. Oh yes, I did miss something. Hold on, I apologize for that. We had the Ultimate X match. Ultimate X match between Alex Shelley, Robbie E, who by the way rip off of Zack Ryder. I mean, it was fucking, and Cookie and Snooki. Really, that's horrible. Why the hell you do that shit? And versus Shannon Moore and Amazing Red. Well, this match was kind of boring. People were like, I really don't like the Ultimate X match. Oh, it is a bunch of spots. You know, it's a bunch of good spots doesn't make a good match. It doesn't. I'm sorry, it doesn't make a good match. So there were some botches too by Alex Shelley, not Alex Shelley, Shelley. I think it was Moore that botched a few times, and we had the finish was kind of stupid too. We have Shannon Moore climbing all the way to the top of the cage, not the cage, the structure, whatever the fuck it's called. He climbs all, he walks, not walks, but he like crawls all the way to the middle, drops down to the middle, starts knocking guys off. Then Alex Shelley comes, knocks off Shannon Moore, and then Alex Shelley wins. I don't know. This whole Ultimate X thing is retarded. I never really liked it. I'm not a big fan of the whole Ultimate X match. Even when it supposedly was good years back, you know, I never really liked it. Not a big fan of it. Alright, let's move on to the next match in the card. This is out of order. I apologize, but my notes are out of order. So, alright. Now, the next match I'm going to talk about is Austin Aries versus Zema Ion, I believe it was. I'm not, if I botched that, whatever. Low Key, better known as Caval and WWE guys, and versus Jack Evans. This was a great match. This was by far the match of the night, in my opinion. Great match with great spots. You know, there was this one spot where somebody did like a corkscrew all the way to the outside and landed on three guys. I forget who it is. I really didn't write down who it was. But it corkscrew like moved off over the ropes and landed on the three guys. So that was a pretty good match, pretty good spot. Then we had the ending was Austin Aries pinning Low Key with his signature brainbuster. You know what? It was. I'm kind of glad that Austin Aries won because he obviously is a good wrestler. So that was by far the match of the night. All right, the next match we have Abyss versus Brian Kendrick for the X Division title. Oh, this is match fucking horrible. It was boring. All it was most of the match was Kendrick beating up Abyss, and Abyss standing there and taking like a punching bag. You didn't do nothing, Abyss. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, is this a match or this is like a practice for Kendrick practicing his moves? It's horrible. Then the ending was even worse. We had Abyss knocked out referee Earl Hebner. And then we have Kendrick hitting his finisher, but the referee wasn't there, of course. Then we have Immortal running in the match, of course. Immortal ran in, they beat the shit out of Kendrick. And then some of the X Division guys ran in, they got beat down by Immortal. And they started beating down Kendrick again. And then more X Division guys came out. I don't know any of their names because I really didn't pay attention. And then you have X Division guys, more X Division guys coming out, beat up Immortal, finally got rid of Immortal. Then Kendrick hits, and Kendrick comes in and does a move, you know, and the pin, that's like a pinning combination move, and it was like 2 or 3 seconds for Earl Hebner to start to count. 1, 2, 3. It was bad. It was like, what? I mean, Abyss could kick out of that pretty easily, but he didn't because that was the finish, and Hebner again screwed it up. Hebner screwed it up and not counting the 3 quickly. I was like, where's the referee at? It was bad. This match was horrible. Kendrick wins the X Division title. Maybe the only good thing about that match because I was tired of Abyss, the X Division champion, as sure as everyone else was too. Alright, now let's move on to the main event, which was Christopher Daniels versus AJ Styles 1-on-1. And see who's the greatest of all time in TNA. People were marking out for this match like crazy. Yes! I can't wait for this match. I cannot wait for this match. It's going to be epic. I mean, I'll tell you something right now. It was fucking boring. This match was so boring. It was like, oh man, can this match please end? It was so fucking boring. I was like, oh my god, what the fuck is this match? It was boring. It was like full of rest holds. We were doing rest holds most of the match. There was like arm bars and sleepers and stuff. Like, oh god, this is boring. And we had, but towards the end, it was some good spots there by both Daniels and Styles towards the end of the match. Then AJ won by his corkscrew, like a corkscrew from the top rope or something. I don't know exactly what it's called. And he got the 1, 2, 3. That's it. That's the pay-per-view. I give it a I give it a 5 out of 10. I mean, and it's the reason why I'm putting on top in the title it sucked, because not necessarily because it sucked, because it's the fact that it was still disappointing compared to what the card could have been. It could have been epic. Instead, it sucked. I hope people understand what I mean by that. And next quick update before I sign off this video. Next week is next Sunday. I don't know why I said Monday. Next Sunday is Money in the Bank. I will be reviewing that pay-per-view. Hopefully, it's better than Capital Punishment, because Capital Punishment was fucking horrible. Well, I guess until next time, this is me signing off for now. Peace out.